Welcome back to my channel. This is, of course, David Lewis speaking, and I'm coming to you in the hangover from the Pro Tour. Sort of been taking it a little slow. Definitely took my time to get this video out. So this is just going to be a bit of a quick recap and a tournaments and a like kind of what I've been doing, what I'm planning to do soon, and what's coming for the channel, in case anyone is interested. So of course I went to Pro Tour Las Vegas, used my Pro Tour invite, my PTI from the Showdown in Brazil, and I really wanted to qualify on ProQuest, didn't quite get there, bunch of semifinal losses and things like that against good players, and ended up using a PTI to go because I already had the ticket, I already had the plans to go. A lot of my testing mates live there, so I really wanted to go see them. Kind of had a trip planned as well with family. So yeah, went to Las Vegas, used my PTI in the Pro Tour, and I, in the run-up to the event, I was kind of looking at Puffin as an option. Of course, lots of people were like, "You're a bit crazy," and I mean, kind of. My backup was Dio. Of course, I'm on the mech train, and I played Dio for Sao Paulo, but the thing with Dio was. As the tournament started inching closer, we started in testing and things. We expected a lot of Jarl and a good amount of Kasai, and those can be very rough on Dio depending on the list they're running. And I honestly ended up deciding that I preferred my bets into Fatigue on Puffin over Dio. I do, in some other cases, I could expect out skill and win with Dio into Fatigue that way, but this is the Pro Tour. I had no expectations of that. So, ended up planning to go Puffin. Here's my dear Puffin and Polly, glorious they may be. Queen Puffin, right? Anyways, so got ready to take Puffin. I had it well tested. I was still riding the high from nationals, and I did trust in my ability. I'd played a lot of Jarl matches and was able to do very well generally, even into players that knew what I was running and how to kind of counter it. So that gave me a lot of hope into this match. So I take my Puffin deck. I flew up on Tuesday, except I didn't because my airline said, you know what, we can't do this flight. We were on the plane running about an hour and a half late, and then we waited an hour on the plane, and then finally the pilot comes on the intercom, says, we're windows up. We haven't been able to fix the problem. Our window's up, and we're just going to go get lunch. And there's no flight today. So where I live from, there really was no other option. I tried to consider flying to another city. Prices would go crazy, whatever. The airline's like, you can get the same flight tomorrow. So I did that. Thankfully, I called the hotel. They said, no problem. We'll just bump your reservation, which was great. Because it was going to be a lot of wasted money otherwise. And then the next day, fingers crossed, I'm getting scared, we're running a little late, the plane takes off, and we get there. Fly to Dallas. Then the Dallas to Las Vegas flight takes longer than expected, but we do finally end up getting to Las Vegas, and with a bit of a delay. Get there on Wednesday. Get picked up by one of the guys from Metal Fab, who's also one of my testing partners, and head over to the hotel because we were staying in the Westgate, so on the venue. Check in, set up, head to the team house. I think we head there the first day, and got some testing in. I'm feeling good. I honestly think Puffin is actually a pretty good choice. I know that it's definitely kind of an underdog choice, but I don't know. I have some confidence in it. And run some tests back with Metal Fab. Do the same the next day, and get invited to Metal Fab, which is official now. I am on Metal Fab. Oh, I should have brought my jersey. I don't have it on hand right now, but I am officially part of Team Metal Fabs, so that was cool. And yeah, get ready for the tournament. This Thursday, Friday the tournament starts, so get registered, and then get out, go see a show. Get home at a reasonable hour, and end up resting for the next day. Pro Tour starts. There's like 11 of Team Metal Fab participating, I think. I hit all the bad matchups. Well, most of the bad matchups. In 5 rounds, I hit an Ira, which is not great, a Kasai, which can be rough, especially if they're good and it's Pro Tour, a Marionette, which was, according to me, the good matchup, a Huntsman, which is pretty awful, and a Dorinthia, which can be difficult. Start bad and have to claw my way back. I get high rolled by the Marionette and lose the ones that are rougher, and then just have to claw my way back. But I won't go over round by round, but I end up getting into day 2 on a 5-3 record, just by the skin of my teeth. The nature of the Pro Tour it's crazy. My winning in at 4-2 is Jason Rolfe, because of course it is. And so, yeah, we have a bit of a banter about what went wrong. But we get in. I get in barely. I go into the second day draft. I do very badly. I usually think I'm a good drafter. The second day, just things won't work out. I draw by hands, back against the wall again, even for cash. And then I start winning out. I rattle off 3 wins in a row into Dio, Phi, and Jarl. And that Jarl match, all the testing and the reps and all that come in. I feel very confident about my ability to beat a Jarl, and piece by piece I take him down. Like what I'm sure a Dio would really, really struggle to do, into hypothermias, staunch responses, channel lake frigids, all of that. I just gradually wear down the Jarl. Ivan Taranto, he played it very well. He knew what he was doing. He definitely tried to fatigue me. It did not get there. I had a kill turn set up, like a really good pitch stack turn at the end. I win the game 1 turn before that. I don't actually need to get to the pitch stack. Well, I mean, I was on pitch stack, but I don't need to get to the turn I'd set up to get there. So comfortable, I'd say, comfortable win, absolutely. And then it's winning in for money, and I hit another Kasai, Kieran Lee, great guy. I honestly think I get there, but I drew a red hand real near the end of the game that meant that I gave tempo back to him. When I was pushing for lethal, I drew an all red hand with 3 red 2 costs. And I had to do a bit of an inefficient turn. So I sent, Fast and Furious for 3 into Zeppelin for 8 potential, because I had 2 cogs, which if it had hit would also meant a backspin thrust and a gun, which would have been very good, which was what I was banking on. It did not hit. He blocked it out correctly, and that's fine. I had to take my chance because that was my 1 out. If I had had a blue, it was Fast and Furious into Red Throttle into Zeppelin. Way harder to block because he's not on enough life to not block the throttle. He has to at least put a block in front of the throttle, and that means that to block the Zeppelin, he loses his whole hand, and then I keep tempo. But it doesn't line up. A couple turns later, he gets there, and I end up 9-6 because I had some bad tiebreakers. I was 68th in the tournament, a couple places off of cashing, but still pretty amazing for being the 1 Puffin in day 2, and the 1 guy from Mexico in day 2. So good results, just so close. I'm sure the next Pro Tour I'm going to try to do even better, but I'm not upset. 68th place was amazing, especially on a deck like Puffin. Yeah, Puffin generally felt very good. The matches I lost, I would only say there was 1 real match where the deck kind of fell apart. That was my 2nd loss against Tatsuya Okanishi on Kasai. He didn't really do anything. He just kind of blocked, and my deck just boosted away all the good stuff. It happens sometimes. And I was never really able to pressure him much, so he very comfortably took that game. Other than that, the matches were close. The losses were, 1 life. Got Kadachi locked, things like that. It was just tough stuff. Against my last match, I lost. He was on 6 life, but as I said, if I'd been able to send a throttle, that's 6 more damage on a turn. So my turn goes from, it goes from 11 to 17 at base, potentially 20 something. So depending on how he blocks, that might have just been the game. Anyways, it was a great tournament. I had a great time. I felt very comfortable. I did not feel, I didn't feel I was skilled. At every point, I knew what I was doing. I think I won the matches I should have, except, matchup-wise, is not that simple because it's the Pro Tour and everyone's good enough to beat you, even if you're their bad matchup. I think I won the matches that I had a chance to win. And the matches I lost, my opponents just had a little more push, one more damage here, and that got him there. My loss to Marionette, they were on 2 life. To my loss to Ira, they were on like 2 or 3. Like, it was all very close. The only match that did not end up close, as I said, was the second loss against Kasai. But that's the nature of the Pro Tour. You're 0-2, and your opponent is a guy that's going to top 8 the calling in a couple of days. So that's just how wild the Pro Tour is. Very happy with my results. I was the 3rd best standing Metal Fab member. Devin Killebrew came in 18th, I believe. And Griffin Myers was 40-something, 46th, I think. And then it was me at 68th. We had 2 other Day 2 players, Lupine Fiasco and French Tan, who unfortunately was one of my losses in draft. Well, whatever. He took me down in draft. So 9-6, 68th place at the Pro Tour out of 400 and something, I think. All good. Get ready for the Showdown the next day, mostly because I just love playing Fab, not because I particularly want to play Sage. Sleeve up my Dromai deck, and I had not played Sage since Showdown Sao Paulo, and it showed. I was 7-3. It was a gigantic showdown. Way too many players, way too many rounds. I basically won all my matches, but 2 Briars together, which was sad because I know the Briar match. It's just I was rusty. I didn't make the right decisions. The second Briar was on a really weird list. I did not really know what to expect, and I got kind of, I just didn't quite get there. First match was particularly rough because I had the match. My only dragon was an Ashwing, which is not enough. So they ended up on life, and then I got fatigued. I needed any 2 or 3 attack dragon, and I get there in that match. So that was completely on me. And then my other loss in 9th round was a Flavo. That's just a horrible matchup. It's just really difficult. I don't think I could really win that as long as they're playing decently. I will say my 10th round was funny. I played against a Lane Cow, which is another known illusionist player. And I won, but that's kind of technicality. I really lost. They didn't hear the brown start and got there late and got an IP2. But by this point, we weren't playing for anything because we couldn't make cash. So they just said, what if we I'll concede and let's play for real. And then I got my ass handed to me. It was hilarious. I could not see any of the good cards for the mirror. So, well, I lost, though I won, and it was an amusing, we kind of bantered, we kind of had a good time laughing. There was one point where I was like, this is horrible, I'm not drawing any of the good cards, and I know you have a rake in the arsenal. And they flipped it over, how do you know? And I said, because I would do the same thing, because it's the mirror, and I know that that's what you have to do. So it was funny. Things just didn't go my way in that match. It really, Dromai mirrors are so, they're good, they're very interesting, but if something goes wrong on one of the 2 sides, it just turns into a massacre, and that's what happened. So ended at 7-3, technically 32nd. There was no prizing for top 32, only top 16, so didn't matter. And that was the end of my tournament run. I think in general I did pretty well. The Showdown, I know I lost some games I shouldn't have, so that's kind of disappointing. I don't really think I lost any games I shouldn't have in the Pro Tour, which kind of feels better. In hindsight, maybe one of my draft matches was winnable, but I feel like I would have noticed, so I'm not really sure if I tossed the game in draft or not. But yeah, that's my tournament rundown. I'm not really wanting to go in depth. There's a couple of reasons. I don't really want to talk about everything because I'm currently working on, this is one of the things I'm doing, a Metafy guide for Boost Puffin. I really have been looking forward to setting this out. It's kind of one of the reasons why I've been taking a longer time to make a video like this. It's because I'm really putting in a lot of work. I'm trying to make it as in-depth and great as possible. So expect that soon, hashtag soon, whenever it's finished. But I think this is going to be a great tool for anyone interested in the hero. I really do think that after the Pro Tour, I showed that this list, when well piloted, has the capacity to compete. As I said, 68th, maybe not like top 32 or something, but I at no moment felt like, oh, I have a worse deck than everyone else. It was a great, you know, a great list, a great tournament for me, even with some bad draws and some bad breaks, and still getting there. Been up to, and finally, I just wanted to kind of go over what I've been up to lately this week and what I'm doing soon. I'm doing some testing. I've been working on Boomer Chain for Sage because it's fun. I've been working on Leviathan because I love Leviathan. I've been testing some RKO with bad results. I've really been and I've just been obsessing over Leviathan. I'm looking forward to her. I know that there's lots more to be spoiled, but my theory is if I can make her good with what's already spoiled, she'll be even better with more things. So very, very excited about that. Looking forward to Malice. Obviously I'm going to keep playing Puffin, but I kind of wanted to give her a break after playing 2 large tournaments with her. So yeah, here's my Leviathan list, my current one. It's, work in progress. We're figuring it out. And then I've been building some Magic Gathering Commander decks for other people. So that's been fun too. Just fun little ideas. I've been working on a lot of little projects, working on a role-playing game, but they didn't hear from me. So yeah, lots of little side projects. Very excited about the results in the Pro Tour. I think it was a bit of a personal achievement to prove that I can get this far, that I can play with the best. As I said, the Pro Tour, there are no bad opponents. Everyone is good, which is crazy. But it was amazing, an amazing experience, great people all around. Getting back was wild. The flight back got delayed like 4 hours, but did eventually leave. And thankfully, I had like 5 hours in Dallas layover. So essentially, we got there with enough time and were able to still take the connecting flight and get back fine. But it was a odd and frustrating night, if nothing else. We were just sitting in the waiting room for like forever. Something went crazy in the Las Vegas airport because like every flight was going out late. There was like a storm or something. But yeah, made it back. I started practicing the next day because I am just that kind of person. But I've been really going crazy over Leviathan since the keynote spoilers for her. And excited for one of my OG hero. Leviathan's my first hero. Very excited for giving her a test and hopefully making her competitive. Well, thanks for listening. Thanks for my tournament rundown. I will be making companion videos for my Metafy guide for Puffin. So look forward to that. Maybe this week, maybe next, depending on how long that takes. And, if you're still interested in playing Puffin, please stick along. Stick to this channel. Maybe subscribe and keep getting updates, as well as, if you're interested in whatever crazy brew I'm cooking up in some capacity. Not that I post everything, but I will try to go over most decks I'm working on. Thanks for the view, and yeah, till the next video.